Hi, thank you for subscribing to my channel and watching these videos. I hope they are helpful. If you have any suggestions, you can post it in the comment section. In this video, I'm going to discuss prematurity and how we approach prematurity, just an outline for the parents who may be expecting a premature delivery. So normally the gestation, which is the period of baby being in the womb, is about 9 months or 37 completed weeks of pregnancy. If the baby comes before this period, that is up to 36 plus 6 days of pregnancy, we call it prematurity. Of course, the limit of viability when we can successfully save babies starts from 22 plus weeks. Very rare to have a survivor at 22 weeks, so 23 weeks and onwards is when we start considering actively managing babies. And 23 plus 6 days is the limit for the 23 week stage. 24 weeks onwards, the survival becomes more reasonable and realistic. Babies who are less than 28 weeks are called the extreme preterm babies. So 27 up to 27 weeks. So we have 23, 24, 25, 26 weekers who are quite high risk, and the survival rate of these babies is improving with time. But still we have difficulties. They have a lengthy course, we have complications. So beyond 27 weeks it starts getting a little more easy, though not in all cases. The number of babies with prolonged stays or complications becomes less. When a baby delivers premature, how well they do depends mostly on the maturity. So the more preterm the baby, the more interventions they need, the more the likelihood of complications. And the length of stay usually correlates with 35 to 36 weeks of corrected gestation. So that is, if they were born at 26 weeks, for example, they will have to stay 9 weeks to 10 weeks in the hospital. If they are born at 23 weeks or 24 weeks, they may need to stay a little longer than that, because most of them have what we call chronic lung disease of prematurity. So the length of stay is usually long. If a baby is born beyond 32 weeks, usually the length of stay is like 2 to 3 weeks of age, and obviously if they start feeding well and they are growing, the weight is a good weight, they can be discharged earlier. 35 weeks is usually a good stage to discharge babies, because their maturity, the suck-swallow coordination is good. That is an important criteria, because if the baby's suck and swallow is not coordinated, there is a risk of choking during feeds. And so we monitor them till this stage in the hospital. They will be on a vital signs monitor, an oxygen monitor, and we will be able to pick up if any problems happen during their feeding phase. So why is prematurity important? I mean, because all the organ systems in the body are maturing with time, and the baby's organ systems are not mature when they come out premature. We need support, and this degree of support varies depending on the maturity. If the baby is coming out early, the obstetrician may give the mother an injection called steroids, and the steroids can be betamethasone or dexamethasone. This is mainly targeting the lung maturation. There is a chemical that the lung produces called surfactant, and this is important to keep the lungs open after the baby starts breathing. So if there is less surfactant, the lung tends to close down. This makes oxygen exchange difficult, and so the baby starts breathing fast and hard, and we need support. We may need to replace this surfactant either through a tube put down into the airway called the endotracheal tube, or through less invasive methods where we put a finer catheter to give this surfactant. These are newer developments in the field. And the baby may need breathing support either with the tube down the airway connected to a ventilator, or with pressure support through the nose called CPAP, continuous positive airway pressure. We always keep these babies monitored. The cardiovascular system is also adapting. Sometimes they have difficulty in transitioning, blood pressure support may be needed. We do keep them on IV fluids for the nutrition as well as for the cardiovascular system support. In the very preterm babies, we take time to establish feeding. Mother's milk is the best milk for the premature babies, and we need to encourage the mothers to start expressing soon after delivery. There are studies which have shown that if she starts expressing within the first hour or so, the milk output and the success of early lactation is more. And she needs to keep emptying the breast every 4 to 6 hours right from the first day. And so that the baby can get the initial milk called colostrum, and subsequently we can progress with the feeds with her own milk, which is having lots of protective factors and reduces the risk of tummy complications in the premature babies. We support them in an incubator in the early stages because that temperature maintenance is difficult, and babies may have ability to lose water from the skin because the skin is very thin, and the incubators have the facility to humidify the inside of the incubator. So we have increased humidity. You will see misting inside the incubator for that reason. So if you have an increased relative humidity in the environment, the evaporation from the skin, which is what the insensible water loss means, is reduced. So this helps both the temperature maintenance as well as prevents the water loss, the dehydration and its complications. So to maintain the temperature well in a small baby, especially the very premature babies, we need to have a humid environment which is created by the incubator. And for the same reason, you may notice that when the premature baby is born, we receive them in a plastic bag, so their skin is covered, and the water vapor which is evaporating in the heater stays within this bag, and further heat loss is prevented by this evaporation system. We usually start feeding by tube feeding in the small babies and then gradually progress. The gradual progression is because you cannot feed them all of a sudden, and they need to start digesting, they start tolerating. Sometimes they are at risk of a problem called reflux, where the milk starts coming up and causes drop in oxygen. Their breathing pattern also can be immature. It's called apnea of prematurity, and the small preterm babies get a medication called caffeine, which is similar to the caffeine in the coffee we drink. This stimulates their breathing center, and so it supports their breathing. Some of the very premature babies have a problem called chronic lung disease of prematurity, so they may need to be on oxygen for a length of time, and even when they go home, we have to be careful. We have to protect them from getting viral infections. Jaundice is a common problem in the premature babies. Initially, we monitor their blood sugar because they may drop their sugar levels, and we maintain their nutrition till they are able to feed with the mother's milk. We maintain their nutrition with what is called total parenteral nutrition. We may need to insert lines, and we need to maintain them. We have to prevent infection as best as we can. One of the most important complications that premature babies may get is infection during their stay, and so all NICUs have a very stringent hand hygiene policy. We have care bundles when we insert lines and look after them to reduce the risk of infection. We have very stringent guidelines for antibiotic use. To avoid unnecessary use of antibiotic, we try to stop them at the earliest possible. However, there are situations, because these babies are fragile and infection can progress, there are situations where we may need to start antibiotics on the base of surmise, and then we do tests to monitor for them, and then we stop it at the earliest. As far as the long-term progress of these babies is concerned, we do cranial ultrasounds to make sure there is no bleed in the brain. After discharge, we regularly follow them up, and the more premature the baby, the higher the risk of complications at follow-up. Not all of them do normally. If you look at babies less than 27 weeks of gestation, about 10 to 20% of them may have significant problems, long-term neurodevelopmental problems. And as the baby gets more mature, like if they are born at 28 weeks to 30 weeks, the risk of complications is 10% of major complications. Of course, any of this group can have 30 to 50% chance of minor problems like specific learning difficulties or attention deficit and so on. But the major problems are definitely higher in the extreme preterm babies. They also have a risk of blindness or a defective vision from a problem called retinopathy of prematurity. We usually monitor these babies with the ophthalmologist looking into their eyes at regular intervals after they reach 4 weeks or so of age. Some of them need treatment with injections into the eye or laser treatment to prevent complications happening. So this is an overview, and neurodevelopmental follow-up is important. If we notice any problems at their follow-up, we suggest support as needed. And of course, nutritional support continues even after that. But even for the premature babies, there is nothing better than mother's milk. So very important to focus on that. Thank you for watching this video. I'll have more videos on prematurity as well. Thank you.